look, I'll be honest, but whilst Doctor Who is running, one of the good sides of it is you have to do no work to put together a stream. It's just like there's so much stuff to talk about, especially tonight. That we had two incredible things happen. That for the first time since Twice Upon a Time, they did an episode of Doctor Who that was an episode of Doctor Who. It wasn't. It didn't feel like a lecture on any stupidity. Look, Shooting Out was still horribly cast, and it would have worked so much better without him in it. But in terms of like getting the beats, getting the scares, they delivered, right? And yeah, I can't complain. And somebody who has been very vocally complaining about everything since Capaldi, you got to give props where props is due, and props was due for that episode as well. I don't recommend it because I find Shooting Gatwa to be like nails on a chalkboard, right? But in terms of it being again, the reason it was a good episode is because it was unpretentious. It wasn't trying to shape the world. It was just trying to be an episode of Doctor Who, something they haven't done for 7 years, and literally for 7 years, right? There is not one episode in the last 7 years that felt like an episode of Doctor Who. Let's have a look. Let's do an episode guide. Maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe I'm speaking too soon. Doctor Who episode guide. Doctor episodes. Share screen. Look, honestly, the real problem with this era is Ralph C. Davis doesn't realize that being very gregariously gay isn't charming, right? So let's just see. Woman Fell to Earth, no. Ghost Monument, no. Close. That was actually reasonably close. Rosa, no. Arachnids in the UK, no. Again, anything that has something that just falls apart. Sarungra, Conundrum, Demons of Punjab, Kablam. No, Kablam came the closest. But no, I think Ghost Monument came the closest. It's really, I think Ghost Monument is where Chris Chibnall ran out of ideas, right? That's where he finally fell apart. Takes Your Weight, no. Witchfinders, no. Battle of Ranscott, of Colossus, no. None of these felt like any episode. They were dumb. They were badly written. And by talking like beyond having Jodie Whittaker as a doctor. Spyfall, I got me in the place where I am right now. It got me optimistic before it gets like, maybe they've learned their lesson from it. No. So Spyfall really did not feel like an episode of Doctor Who. Neither did Autumn 55. Neither did Nikolai Tesla's Night of Terror. Fugitive of the Jadoo. None of them reached the level of basic competency. Praxius. Can You Hear Me? Oh, fuck me. One-Eyed Willie the villain. Fuck me. Oh, he was awful. Hoarding on Villa, Dildo, no. Essentially the Sidemen came close. Timeless Children, no. Revolution of the Dalek. I still can't believe when she premiered the name of that episode, she got it fucking wrong. It's called The Revelation of the Dalek. Okay, so when they got to Flux, they had a thing where it was a pastiche of Doctor Who, but it didn't have the core of Doctor Who in it, right? It didn't have that intelligence in it, right? It didn't have ambiguity. Yeah, it was a lower level production, but it learned to fake it a lot better. But I will say none of these episodes, none of Flux feels like Doctor Who. Even the Dalek, one of the best episodes they did, I would say, but still no. It was like lots of like worn out ideas. Now apparently even the Dalek was supposed to be another special, right? And for the life of me, why isn't Chris Chibnall writing that for Big Finish? That to me sounds insane, right? Probably you can't get what's name back. Right, I mean, just put somebody else in, work it out, recast. Doesn't really matter. But even the Dalek Legend of the Sea Devils, neither of which felt like at all like Doctor Who. They that was supposed to be one special, which they split into two, the budget into two. And Power of the Doctor was the closest they came, but did not feel like Doctor Who. It was, again, they got the Doctor Who impersonation at the absolute best they've ever had it. I think for Power, but again, you got Jodie Whittaker. It did none of it really worked, right? So it close. Power of the Doctor had a lot of bits that I think, if you had a competent writer, right, who was the head writer. Could have probably knocked that into shape. Pity, but again, no, I will say not an episode. Star Beast would have been an episode of Doctor Who if not for Yasmin Finney and all the bullshit there. Wild Blue Yonder was significantly inferior to last night's episode. It's interesting, but yeah, it's significantly inferior. Wow, I hadn't thought of that. Did that feel like Doctor Who? No, because I was ripped out of it straight the first second by Asian, who was it? Isaac Newton. So stupid. And the giggle. Again, I find that a disappointment. I think the bi-generation just it goes off in a different way. It doesn't feel like Doctor Who. Now, Church and Ruby Road, I would say, felt like a new start. Could have been Doctor Who, right? It felt like a new start, going in a new direction. It was very confident. Oh, my cat's here. Very confident and bold. Why do you want to come in? Hey, 1 second. What you been doing? You look like you're a mess as always. In you come, honey. There you go. So where was I up to? So yeah, I was see Church and Ruby Road. I apart from the I didn't find the actually that's not true. I was going to say I didn't find the queer stuff that distracting, and that's not true at all actually. Because the trans friend that Ruby Sunday had in her band, it was just like, oh, that's weird. Hey, you don't like trans people existing. I don't mind them existing. I just don't think it's appropriate for family TV. I think cross-dressing is a kink. And it's fine to have that kink, but it's like, something for more adult drama. It's not something for, that's supposed to be good for kids. That's why I wouldn't watch it in front of kids. They'll be like, is that a man wearing lipstick and dressed as a woman? Why are they doing that? I don't have that conversation. I think because they're sick fucks, I think. The people who put this on. But again, I like the whole veering into magic and fantasy. And I felt that was that kind of they kind of worked in Doctor Who, but it's still that could have been an episode of Doctor Who. But it was just going in, trying to redefine itself, but it didn't do it, I'm afraid. Right? I wish they did, but they really didn't. Space Babies, no. Weak shit. Devil's Cord. Jinx Monsoon was awful. Boom. No, that didn't feel like an episode of Doctor Who either. Right? He's standing in a minefield, crying, calling Ruby to come to him in a field of invisible mines. That seems stupid to me, right? 73 yards completely fell apart. Dot and Bubble was, all white people are terrible. Rogue was, I want to tongue kiss that dude. Legend of Ruby Sunday was, oh, is that going to be good? And then it kind of fell apart towards the end. But again, they're setting up the whole season arc, the woman pointing, his mother, all that, completely falls apart in Empire of Death, right? So that is not an episode. Okay, I will say, this is the closest they've had to an episode of Doctor Who in a long time, right? I think since Twice Upon a Time. And again, I'm really optimistic for next week, Lucky Day, because it's written by Pete McTeague, and I want Pete McTeague to do well, right? I think Pete McTeague deserves success. His re-edits on the Blu-ray range have been freaking excellent. But mind you, I've been watching the Matrix editions by Cunning Monkey. Let me pull these up over here. These are awesome. Okay, so he recuts these into shorter episodes, like more modern with new effects. Spear from Space was excellent. I mean, it was just absolutely excellent. All right, and the new effects worked so well. Maybe I'll pull that up 1 second. Video for this is why I'm not doing politics and stuff. I get sidetracked by Doctor Who. Where do we go over here, Doink? And Doctor Who, Third Doctor, Spearhead from Space. Let's see if we can find the Matrix edition. Oh, here we go, Doink.
We have noted your particular interest in
again, I think this is a very good editing choice starting with this. But
planet Earth. For that reason, you will be sent back to that planet.
Could use some stars.
In exile. You will be sent to Earth in the 20th century and will remain there for as long as we deem proper.
See, I like the idea of taking classic Doctor Who and making it palatable for a younger audience. Yeah, check out the new effect. Why couldn't they have done this on the Blu-ray? And I was like, why are they falling in such a straight line? And it's because, yeah, they appear on the scope. It's right that way. Wait, here, one second. Let's show him crash to Earth. So worth the effort he put into it. Yeah, I mean, these things are just excellent. I mean, they really are. So that's a big recommend. I do like, yeah. So Pete Matiga said, very good editor. Why they keep giving it to Ben Cook to do the colorizer? He's really not a good editor. I'm sorry, he just isn't. I've seen his editing work, and none of it's impressed me at all. So yeah, look, we had a reasonably good episode. Yeah, it felt like Doctor Who. I can't deny that at all. I think it's probably, instead of Rusty Davis, because of the co-author, Sharma Angel Wolfer. Let's see what she said on Twitter since then. The twats. Okay. Oh God, Canada. Mate, that's a shit show. That is a shit show and a half. Do we get maybe people? No. I'm sure she had a X account, didn't she? So anyway, look, she pulled it out. Okay, she did a good job. I think. I mean, I wasn't involved in the writing of it. I think she probably did. And good for her. Good for her. So like now, I'm thinking, might it stick the landing? Might it not be shit? The story in the engine, I would be surprised. The story in the engine and the Interstellar Song Contest, I would be surprised if they're any good. Right? It strikes me as if they probably won't be. Right? And then Wishworld and Reality. Okay, maybe they're setting up a mystery that will actually pay off this time and won't be like, awful. I don't know. I really don't. I really don't know, right? And that's all from that one episode. So yeah, but at the same time, my one of my deepest wishes came true. I think very unjustifiably. Let me pull it up here. Doctor Who Battlefield. Very unjustifiably, Battlefield has held the candle for the lowest rated episode of Doctor Who of all time at 3.1 million. Now, there was somebody reminded me of this today. Who was it? David Mullen, who was on Downstream last night, right? There was a World Cup qualifier that was on ITV at that time, right? And back in '89, a lot of people only had one TV, right? Or maybe, I don't know. And then a lot of people would record Doctor Who for later because it's on. People were used to it because it was on the same time as Corrie. So here we go. I don't think it's a fair comparison at all. There are less people in the country, but anyway, that's held and you saw the ratings go up instead of down. That's held the record as the lowest rated episode of Doctor. Again, I don't think it's a fair comparison at all. Now, finally, right? We have a lower rated episode, 3 million. Yes, that includes iPlayer. Yes, that includes consolidated. It's not going well, ladies and gentlemen. It is not going well. We're going to discuss that soon. But yeah. I wouldn't call that a mustard. So you've got these two things going on at the same time. Doctor Who pulls out a good episode and gets the worst rating ever. My guess is it's toast, right? I think it will continue. I think it might get rested. I think they need to find a new creative team for it. But everything I'm saying is got logic and reason built into it. So yes, you can't rely on logic and reason when you're dealing with the BBC. They're out their bloody minds, right? They are out of their bloody minds. I really want to give a re-listen to. It's on my phone. I haven't got to it for a while. Is the New Adventures adaptations, especially the what's it called again? Not Damaged Goods. The Gareth Roberts one. What was it? I can't remember.
Battle from above the sky. See visitors from the stars. All action adventure. Thrilling, astounding, startling.
Sunday.
So the problem I see with this right now is the soundscape doesn't really work, right? It's made for audio, which means everything's really at the front. Of the edit, and so it does. There's got to be some way of moving their voices inside, right, deeper inside to give it the right space that is spatial analysis. But this was all done with AI as well.
7 days sounds suitably tawdry and unrealistic. If we could find an usherette in the gloomness, I'd buy you a strawberry movie.
I thought the pictures meant a sort of art gallery.
Not exactly, but it is an entertainment of sorts. And this cinema must have been shut for years.
A boarded-up picture house doesn't prove this is Earth.
You know, I'm not sure coming here was such a good idea.
Yeah, very, very impressive. Anyway, let's have a bit of Millie Gibson action. Millie Gibson Varada Sethu. Now, I might not make it through this whole this whole clip. I might get way too excited. It could happen, ladies and gentlemen. They're two very beautiful women.
The ending. And I was so just.
What is up with Millie's hair? Like, what is up with her hair? There's got to be something better she could do with that. Is that a wig? I don't know. Maybe I'll look at something else other than her hair. Spilling the tea.
I just think Ruby's so cool. And I think Belinda and Ruby are both
strong women.
Strong women, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I know. I wish you would just stop going for the strong women trope. Although actually, the truth is they actually are. Right? And you do need someone with a bit of gumption to be a Doctor Who companion. Again, I think one of the only winning aspects of this current era,
and they know when to.
And one of the losing aspects, shooting up, it just doesn't work.
Put the Doctor in his place. We're very compassionate,
and I hate that wanting to put the Doctor in the place. Like, I understand that sometimes, but like, was it Katie Manning? Her whole raison d'etre as Jo Grant was like, and also Liz Sladen, right? They like, the Doctor's like my bestest friend ever. I'll do anything for that friend, right? And I go, look, Jo Grant hold herself in front of the Doctor to Azal, right? This giant demon, because it's not about putting the Doctor in the place. And again, this search for strength and power just belies a real lack of it.
People, very selfless,
very caring,
family orientated.
Yes,
definitely.
Yeah.
It's cheeky.
Family orientated. Well, that's a new aspect. I'm not sure it's a bad one. Like, I would love to know, like, how Perry became Perry. Right, like it's right. I that's one of the good aspects of Modern Who, the bringing in the rest of the family. I think honestly, I loved the extended family they brought in with Rose. You had Mickey, you had her mother, Camille Coduri, and it really worked, right? It really, really genuinely worked.
Cheeky.
We're not damsel in distresses.
No,
that's what I love.
Yeah, there might be like a split second of it, and then we're sometimes the ones that save the Doctor. I mean, he needs us.
He needs us.
Again, I'm not disagreeing with her, right? But it's just nails on the chalkboard for me. Like, the Doctor needs a companion. I agree with it, but to keep him, I think when was it Turn Left? right? To keep him on the straight and narrow, to keep him being a good person, right? If I may recommendation to you, if you want to make yourself into a stronger, better person, have 3 types of relationships in your life at the same time. Have a mentor, somebody who's ahead of you in life, and you could look up to, right? Have a friend, somebody at the same point of view and the same level of your life, and have a student, somebody younger than you, right? And it's called a tripod of objectivity. And it will absolutely make your life better. Although people just don't want to be objective. But again, it's so sad that you have, I think, genuinely very, very talented, accomplished women here saying, oh, we got to be strong women. We got to put the doctor in his place. No, you don't need to demonstrate your strength if you have strength, right? This thing de-strengthens you, for want of a better word. Weaken. That's weaken is the better word.
I adore him, and you've got to get to know someone when you're on that level. It's literally predominantly 2 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like him at all. I just don't. No, I just don't like him at all. He just seems like someone I wouldn't want to hang out with, right? Which doctor would I want to be in the presence of? I'll be interested in the presence of... Okay, I don't think I would really like hanging out with Hartnell. It depends. I think maybe season 2, season 3 Hartnell, where he's like giggling a bit and I'm more confused. Patrick Troughton's doctor, you would want to hang out with. John Pertwee's doctor, you would want to hang out with. Tom Baker's doctor, you would super want to hang out with. I think I'd have a cup of tea with Peter Davison. Would I want to hang out with Colin Baker's doctor? Where was he seeing his? I don't want to hang out with Colin Baker's doctor. I think I like his doctor, but it's not someone I spend time with. I would like to hang out with Sylvester McCoy's doctor, but I'm worried he'll get me killed in some labyrinthian plan. Paul McGann, yes, 100%. John Hurt's doctor, no. Mr. Grumpy. Christopher Eccleston, would I want to hang out with that doctor? No. David Tennant, no, absolutely not anymore. Like nails on a fucking chalkboard, you are. Again, another one. But Capaldi, yes. And Matt Smith, yes. Jodie, obviously not. Tennant 2, not. And Shooting Gatwa, not.
So you have to really have a routine, almost on the same page every day, which is really important.
I think one of the main points of Rogue was letting Shooting Gatwa wear stock. It was showing how female and male clothes was really just a fashion statement, and men wore tights, right? Back then. It's a stupid point, badly made.
Which is really important.
I love working with him. It's so great. I feel like the days when it's just...
See, again, I'm great you're all loving it. I'm great. He's absolutely useless as a doctor. I'd hang out with the 6 doctors if it meant I could hang out with Perry. Well, I don't know. Would you want to hang out with Perry? She's always angry and screaming. Although you do get the feeling Perry just really needs a good fuck, right? She just needs to be like brought to orgasm, I would say 3 or 4 times, right? During a very steamy lovemaking session. So she's like quivering and shaking on the bed. Look, I'm going to use a bed. What do you want? I'm an old man. And I reckon she would totally calm down after that. That's just one man's opinion, baby. One man's opinion that I like to think about a lot.
The days go really quickly. I just feel like we're so good at reading each other. If one of us is feeling a bit low, the other one can bring them up.
Totally,
like that's how I felt. And then being around Shooty and his energy, he's like a live wire. You match.
I mean, like, it's a shame, really, that he is like a live wire. Like, but he's just, again, somebody told him that being super camp queer is charming, and it's not. It's just not. Perry got one in the end, from Brian Blessed. Bit of a booby prize, I would say.
Shit, just not naturally.
Yeah,
you can't not.
You have to do it.
Again, this bizarre belief that Shooty Gatwa is a good actor. I've never seen any evidence of it. or a good casting for Doctor Who. Never seen any evidence. Who was it said before? It's nice to see Varada. Oh, P.D. Rich. So see it with a smile on her face. Absolutely. But look, I'm thinking there's going to be a season arc where she kind of relaxes into it a little bit more. Hopefully.
Yeah. And then
Matthew Pounder says the Doctor is now the companion, and that is really the problem, right? And you don't have a good central figure.
by the end of the day, you're like, I actually feel recharged.
Yeah, that's so nice.
I think for me, it was the scale of the fandom. It's such a prestigious show to be on. I couldn't believe how...
Yeah, I listened to a normie. That's got to be terrifying, hasn't it? It's got to be absolutely terrible, like how bonkers these people are. Yeah.
How far it reached. And to find out, no, it's actually big everywhere.
The fans are so lovely.
Yeah. I think that's the main surprise for me. Everything else is sort of run of the mill.
Yeah, you
I don't mean that.
to it though.
Yeah. On the first day when I stepped on the TARDIS, it was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that TARDIS either.
This is so cool.
Yeah.
Day 2 and you're like, yeah, it's a TARDIS.
Honestly, I mean, how do they get it so right with the companions and everything else is wrong? Right? I don't understand. Like, these two are absolutely perfect to be a Doctor Who companion. Shooter's yet another DI case from the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland. Well, okay.
Yeah, this is home. Because it's one thing looking at it, but it's another thing acting.
Is that a wig? Is it a wig, or is he just growing hair out after she had a bob?
On it, because it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, play with things.
Exactly.
Oh, you can play with things, darling. Can I watch?
Yeah.
Especially because you don't know what all of those things are.
Nothing I don't like. The console's too big, all the controls are too big. Everything's wrong about that.
I let Shooty do that.
What was worse with Perry? Being possessed and having a head shaved, or being married to Brian Blessed? I think she killed Brian Blessed pretty darn quickly. Grom Savaluna. I mean, like, you know, honestly, I think do you remember what was that EastEnders? One Christmas at EastEnders, you had Janine, who was looking very hot then, married Barry to get hold of his money, right? And he kept turning up on like Ricky Gervais shows after that, trying to get a job. And they got married on New Year's Day, on Christmas, right? And she found out he had a heart problem, and she was just gonna like sex him to death. It's not such a bad way to go, right? Not such a bad way to go. And then he found out he was okay and he wasn't going to die imminently, and she ended up throwing him off the down a cliff or something. I can't remember. But yeah, the sexing to death. I think that's probably what happened to Ikanos.
Look bewildered.
Me too.
Which is fine. It suits Belinda.
I'll just go.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
I want to forget you. So yeah, that's going on, right? That's going on. Nothing going on. And again, one episode that wasn't awful. And I'm like, maybe it could be good now. I don't know. But like, that's what it's like. They're doing a cinema showing of the final of the season 15 or season 2 finale. They did that last year. But it was so stupid because it was at midnight, right? It was like, I guess it started at 11. It was at midnight. You put the final episode on at midnight, and then you got to sit there and go, well, that was shit. All the answers we got were awful, right? Yeah. So this year, as I understand it, it's airing on iPlayer at 7:00. Which screws me over synchronic, right? Because 7:00 is 9:00 for me. Sabbath goes out at 8, which means I've got to wait till 9 to watch the episode. And then I don't even know if it's going to drop on Disney Plus at that time in Israel. They might put it on the next day. So I might have to watch it with a VPN on iPlayer. I don't know. It's a real stress fest. So I guess if I watch it at 7 and it's an hour long, I guess I got to go. I watch it, 7, which is 9 for me. It'll be 10:30. I guess I'll be going live at around 8:30 right? Yeah, I'll go live at around 8:30 for the premiere. So, but the question is this: when is this airing? Is this going to be in cinemas at, I guess, starting at 6 o'clock? So you get the penultimate episode beforehand, I guess, which is, to me, makes a lot more sense, right? Question is, how will it do this year? Because last year, so many people got burned. Like, so many people got burned. And I think that's why a good reason so many people just are not coming back. Although, again, I do think the good word of mouth of, what's it called again? What's the name of that episode? The one that's The World will bring people back. I predict that and I was wrong with my prediction so far, so that's fine. But I predict the ratings will go up. And I think the FA Cup lead-in has certainly helped it a lot, right? So that, that's good news. But it's still getting very, very low audience share, right? As well as low ratings. And again, I think Doctor Who's fate has been decided. I think they're saying, we haven't decided until after the season airs. I think it's bullshit. I think the fate has been decided. I think they'll announce it this has always been the plan. And Russ say, yes, we decided that it'll step down after season 2, and we'll wait 7 years. Or whatever bullshit. He will spin any bullshit, right? Because that's what he does, right? That's what he does. Anyway, where are we up to? BBC Studio Cinema Live brings fans together for an in-cinema screening of Wish World and the Reality War on Saturday, May 31st. I just wish they'd tell me when it must be airing at 6. Right, the Doctor shooting at. I'm glad they call him the Doctor instead of the 15th Doctor for once. Right, that was actually pretty darn good. Pretty good idea. Returned this spring with a new addition to the title of Belinda Chandra of Varada Sethu, taking viewers on a thrilling journey through time and space. And I tell you, the quality of this season. Still not watchable, right? I can't recommend it, but the quality of this season is so much higher than last year. And I'm really, really surprised, right? It really does shock me. But good for them. As the season draws to a close, fans across the UK and Ireland will have the opportunity to come together in cinemas to watch the epic 2-part finale on the 31st of May. I'm really by the way, shocked that Disney Plus isn't dropping it till, I guess it'll be 2 p.m. New York time. Yeah. Because they were very, very rigid, who were on their... they said, no, we only drop things on Friday nights or on Wednesdays. So I think it's a good... honestly, I just wish I had the sense to do this at the beginning. Yeah, I think the world was still too little, even though it wasn't bad, and too late. Starting with the penultimate Wish World and ending with Reality World, both written by Sharon Rossley Davis and directed by Alex Sanjib Pillai. Okay, Natasha Spence, events director, BBC Studios, commented, "We're delighted to be partnering with Cinema Live once again to give the Doctor Who fans across the UK and Ireland the opportunity to watch." I mean, could you imagine if this era wasn't shit? It'll be so exciting. Oh, but man, they strangled fandom into nothing, right? There's not many people left anymore. National events director to give the fans a watch across the unit, watch the show together. Finale promised to be an amazing ride for Whovians. I think the reason shooting Gatwa is the Doctor is because he was an amazing ride for Russell Davis. And we're excited to see the Doctor and Belinda's latest adventure with them on screen. There we go. John Travers, head of acquisition and distribution for Cinema Live, said, "Following the success of last year's midnight cinema event, we're excited to be working with BBC to ensure that this time around, the Doctor fans of all ages are able to share the epic experience watching the 2-part film." Okay, good. It's not a midnight event. There's no way I will go to that in a million years. No. That's not going to happen, right? There's no way I will go to that. But I'm thinking, maybe it won't be shit. I don't know. Maybe it won't be shit. I tell you, and that's the best you get for Doctor Who nowadays. You go, maybe it won't be shit. What's the thing with that? Doctor Who Series 202, Lux, the lowest rated episode of all time. or lowest rated episode in, what year is this? It's 20, in 62 years. That's pretty bad. Celebrated fans in a very special way, but it didn't, right? It took one tiny segment of fandom, a reasonably toxic segment, and said that was the entirety of fandom, right? Although, in all fairness, you're not going to get like normal fans watching Varada Sethu and Shooting Gatwick step out the TV, right? It's not appointment viewing, right? Like it used to be. It's a real shame. The second episode of this season's Doctor Who Lux did something the show never did, which was to have the Doctor and his companion Belinda break the fourth wall within the show and meet fans of the show. It was a bad idea. It was a bad idea. And again, I believe that it's you go meta when you have no ideas left, right? When you're and it's not he's just out of steam creatively, Rusty Davis. And again, that's why I think the world was better, because he had a young, determined co-writer, right? And boy, did she not come over as a diversity hire? She came over as somebody who got their job out of talent, right? Big Finish, they should snap her up just to get care to do more, right? I think that she really, I would like to see what she's able to do. As Uber fans, Lizzie, Hassan, and Robin. No white men there, thank God. No last names because they were fictional within the show. Well, okay. We know that's how television works. It's all pretend, baby. It's all pretend. None of it's real. You might think the scene would make fun of fans, and it was gentle ribbing that celebrated them and the series. Again, this is a very specific group of non-white male fans, right? Very non-white male. And again, why do they hate white males so much? That they do. Sharon Rafferty Davis said, I'm one of them. It was a unique and special moment for the series of the current era, and a very active fandom, which haters will, of course, hate. Again, why am I called a hater? Because you do queer shit, right? That seems like a little bit shitty of you, Russell, right? Why am I hating? Like, no, it's you who's doing queer shit, right? Not me going, oh, I just hate it because it's wrong. No, again, look, the trouble with telling queer stories and having a very queer main character is being queer is inherently deeply sexual, right? And deep sexuality. And now when you got with Yasmin Finney, it goes beyond sexual and now it's into weird kink. Which I don't think is a good idea, right? I don't think weird kink is a good idea for Doctor Who. Which, again, makes it impossible for me to watch with kids, which is the central thing you want to do. And I know, Russell, you want to, in Russell's head, you go, well, you just had, oh, wait, where's that meme I saw? That really, I think, did I save it on my phone? Which I think really, yeah, we go. Let me share this because I think this genuinely. What was it? AirDrop didn't work last time. Let's see if it works this time. Is it going to go? It's thinking about it. Oh, this time it works. Look at that. Well, couldn't get it to work last stream. Doink. There you go. Share screen. Hang on. Why is this just a kids movie, but this is indoctrination? It's because one is applicable to 97% of the population, and it has no significant cultural taboo to it, right? The bottom one is saying that it's basically saying like these two things are as normal as each other. I would say there is look, having same-sex relationships and having traditional relationships. One, I don't see one being more valid than the other in terms of intellectualism. Like I have my own personal worldview, which comes from being religious, but I wouldn't impose that on anybody else, right? But yeah, look, Russell's just, I think, going, well, we've seen, heterosexual people play the Doctor, and it was just fine being heterosexual with that heterosexual answer. You should be fine with being a queer Doctor. We're not! We're not, and it's not because we hate gay people, you dumb fuck. Oh, because it's just not appropriate. Yeah, I just wish they would understand that, right? I just wish they would understand that. Where is it? One of the which haters hate, but fans were pleasantly surprised at the scar. The latest Doctor Who interviewed the actors while filming the episode. I think it really got people's back up, frankly. It didn't bother me that much, although it did derail the episode. And again, it's another sign that it's another sign Russell T Davies is just past it. He's old, right? It didn't really work in you had a great villain you could have just focused on, and now you're breaking the full thing. It just seemed like you didn't have enough plot to fill 45 minutes. It's not to be part of it. Really says Bronte Barbie. Is she the one in the wheelchair or the one in the fez? When I got an audition and I read, it was like for a Doctor Who. I thought, oh my goodness, there's so much writing on this. It has to be pitched perfectly. I hope we've done it justice. I want these people to seem real and to honor the writing. But again, I think this is why people are so pissed off with it. This is very Rusty Davis' view of the fan that he wants. The haters. Ugh. My character says she's seen every single episode, and because I would have been pushed to get that in before it started, I've done a lot of cramming, but there's a big responsibility to it. It's not about doing a mad fan thing. It's about doing what the show means to people, so we try to be really careful with it. I think that's correct. I think they're right about that. Right, and again, everybody took a real dump on this. They were really fucked off. But I think it's about. I think they really were trying to be respectful and playful, right? Samir Ariam wasn't just playing a diehard Doctor Who fan. He was one of them. For my self-audition, I wore my own Doctor Who scarf, exactly like this one. I said my entire family are massive Doctor Who fans. My sister's going to be so excited when she finds out I'm in it. I'm sure he was. And again, this is why Doctor Who is embarrassing to admit that you watched it, right? Doctor Who it really is just embarrassing nowadays. It's like the days when it had wobbly sets. Not there, but really, when it used Doctor Who used to be known as a show with wobbly set and cheap production values. So, but now it's known as like the insanely woke show, which is why the ratings are in the fucking toilet, right? And it's not just the ratings; it's the audience share is in the fucking toilet. What do you reckon for next week's one? I reckon this might get for a consolidated rating. I think it might even get 3.5. It might even get 3.57. Right, because this has got word of mouth makes a big difference, right? And I do think next week we could well be over 2 million on the overnight. I can't believe I'm saying that in an excited way. Oh, it's going to be over 2 million, yeah. Oh, it's embarrassing. How Doctor Who embraces its fandom. I'm a disabled actor, says Steph Lacey. Yeah, you say that again. I imagine that you say that within 15 to 28 seconds of meeting anyone. I use a wheelchair. I was cast at Robin Hood's in the script as a wheelchair user, which doesn't come up regularly anyway. Then to cast a genuine wheelchair user, another step. Well, why wouldn't you? I don't know, like if you're putting it in to be woke and representative, which is what you are, right? Then why wouldn't it be woke and representative? I don't understand. Like, I mean, other than there aren't that many wheelchair users, is that the correct term? Who are actors? Maybe there aren't. Look, thank God she worked out. But also then, for it to have a key part of the storyline to be something that's just part of the experience and part of the textures and nuance and the makeup of Doctor Who fandom. I think that was very exciting. I believe you it was, right? I absolutely believe you it was. But the point they were making in casting you was made so loudly and so obnoxiously, you really weren't able to focus on anything else. I also think it's exciting, and with Ruth Madeley plays Unit Scientific Advisor Shirley Bingham, and she's really a shit character, right? Is she as bad as Lenny Rush? Oh, she's pretty bad. She really is bad. Smug and annoying, and look, I'm in a wheelchair. It's good. It fires missiles. Yay. Having such a big, amazing part. Well, don't like to brag, baby. She had a wheelchair adapted, and the TARDIS has been adapted. The TARDIS is now this space that is generally welcoming to everyone. No. It's not opening to welcoming to Trump supporters. They'll call them fascists and Nazis, even though the people calling them fascists and Nazis are normally fascists and Nazis. I think that's a massive stride forward in terms of authenticity and experience, but a massive step backwards in storytelling. Right, your representation came more importantly than the story, and the meeting with you was just, again, it just was a weird sideways step that didn't make any sense, much sense at all, and didn't fit into the story. But also just who we're seeing on our screen. I'm so happy you're happy, but not less people are seeing them now because less people have watched Doctor Who because it's not very good. Because it's more interested in representation than it is in storytelling. And again, thank God they had new blood in this weekend in the writing and direction, because I think that's how we got a decent episode of Doctor Who. It's a huge community to represent this, so there's a lot of pressure, says Arian. Well, there's also a portrait of it's also a lovely portrait. Could not one of them be a white man? Right? Or if you're going to do this correctly, it could have been 5 or 6 people, 3 of them being white men. That would have got the demographics much more accurately. No matter how much Russell doesn't like that. No, don't say it's mainly white. It's mainly white men. It is. It's a lot of portrait fans. You see their passion and a love for the city. Again, I don't think it was taking a shit on fans. I really don't. I just think it's Russell Davis's very, very bad ideas, which is the only ideas he has nowadays, other than casting Varada Sethu and Millie Gibson. You see the passion of Doctor Who, and they're heroic. They're prepared to die for him. Again, yeah, I think that again. I can't disagree with that. We've spoken about it, Bronte, Samir, and I, and what it means to be these characters as Lacey, and actually to be able to do that for the Doctor and for the world is an incredible thing. God, this is going on. Are we nearly done? It's the biggest sacrifice, nods Bronte. Who these are very warm characters who are really human. Well, they're not really potatoes. They are really human. And Doctor Who is their happy place. Well, it used to be maybe this is why it's gone down so badly, because Doctor Who isn't a happy place. Literally, I spent the whole show saying this is the first time in 7 fucking years we had an episode of Doctor Who that was recognizable as Doctor Who, right? That delivered as Doctor Who, that worked as Doctor Who. 7 fucking years. Oh, how many Doctors? 1, 2, 3 Doctors, if you don't count the Jodie's finale. Yeah, we would love to have that happy place. Oh, let's watch Star Trek. Oh no, there's more trans shit. We all had happy places to go to, and it's all been taken away from us by these fucking bullies, like who call everybody Nazis while acting like fucking Nazis. Say so. It's not just about Doctor Who. It's anything that you might attach yourself to that make you feel happy and make you feel like you found your tribe. Yeah, you can, again, look, since Jodie came in and it wasn't stopped with Russell, thank God the Jodie fans left, though. Oh, God, they were the worst. Oh, God, they were the worst. They were just hateful. And like absolutely hateful to anybody who wasn't like them. A dislike of the unlike, as Ian Cheston would say. I wanted to find the level of joy for Doctor Who fans discovering the Doctor was real. See, that to me just sounds stupid. The only time that ever really worked, and it was actually the weakest part of that, was Galaxy Quest. And also to show how much they're prepared to give him, says Davis. I keep watching thinking I could have written this for half an hour or 90-minute stage play. I'm actually a bit sad. Well, that's what you should have done. It should have been a 90-minute stage play, right? It really, really should have been that. Yeah, and I think you would have been happy doing that. Experience has to be condensed down to 2 or 3 minutes, so maybe I'll go back to that living room one day. Yeah, but it was just a bad idea to put it in then. There's always a twist. There's never a twist at the end. Oh, Ruby Sunday, you better know this about my adventures. There's always a twist. There's never a twist. And boy, do they think that was going to go viral. Fuck yeah. Contrary to what Lizzie said, she and her fans mattered. It turned out they got full names in the credits. Okay, blah, 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 blah. What else they got going on? Bleeding Cool about Doctor Who. This is always good for a laugh. They're always game for a laugh. Did Davis expose the most tragic part of the Doctor? You mean his arse? That's the most overused bit of the Doctor. And close. I don't think I can. Yeah, let's go to What Culture and see their review. Hang on, doink. What Culture? There we go. Doctor Who. Doctor Who. The TARDIS. 8 ups, 2 downs. That's pretty darn good. Let's whiz through this, see what it is. 10. The Doctor and Bell skydive. That actually was okay. The problem was they had the right spacesuits on and they matched everybody and they didn't explain it and that didn't work. But in terms of a cliffhanger, which essentially is what the cold opening is, like going to, I think it worked very well. So yeah, a good example of like decent writing. Even though it was ripped off from Day After Tomorrow, right? Up, exploring the world. Well, Mark Gatiss once spoke of how the increased pace of Doctor Who means the classic era episode 1 cliffhanger is now the pre-time. Oh, I just said that, right? He's definitely onto something, as the Doctor and companions rarely get much time to explore anything before they are thrown into the adventure. Initially, that feels like the case here with the Doctor and Melinda emerging in space, being tossed out of the spaceship. However, we still get to see them exploring the mining facility, finding dead bodies. Well, it's kind of important to that. After the whiz bang spec, okay, you're saying it was good. Okay, yeah, fine. It built out atmosphere. Rose Ailing Ellis, yes, she was good, right? Genuinely good. Seemed terrified. Seems convincing. I think I don't know. I might be wrong about this. I think she was an obstacle to the normal audience because she was hard to understand. I had to put the subtitles on for 1 or 2 lines. But generally, her performance was excellent. Up, what did you see? What was it? Is that where you see the shadow behind her? 1 second. Hang on. Thought I had something else saved. Oh, wait. Maybe did I put on my desktop? Let's have a quick look. Because this is really worth it if I can find it. No, not that. Is this it? Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah. So this is a picture from the production where you actually get to see what was behind her, right? Let me pull this up. And when you actually see what the monster is, it gets a lot better. I mean, amazingly. 1 second. Oh, screen. Yeah, here, you actually get to see the creature design. Let me pull this up. There he is. Oh, yes, that's the evil midnight creature made flesh. I don't know who did that, but it was very funny. But yeah, no, the way they pulled that off, I thought was excellent. Again, great direction all the way through this episode. Great. No one's more surprised than me. Is shooting up as still shit as a Doctor? Yes. It becomes more apparent that the world was a sequel to Midnight. It's worrying mighty to see the monster. Yeah, that they didn't make the monster more concrete or real. Didn't give us any any explanations. That's one of the good things about the Midnight Monster. Funny kind of nurse. When Belinda, whenever Mo first meet the suspicion that the kindly soldier may be one of those characters like Gwyneth that's going to end up brown bread, I guess. Won't be getting credit. Please, this isn't the case, although Mo doesn't make it to the end of the world entirely unscathed. There was a great dynamic between Belle, and I liked her being called Belle, by the way, and Mo before all hell breaks loose. Funny kind of nurse. So they say they have that wasn't an up. That was completely disposable. Planet Earth, never heard of it. Yes, I have to. It never occurred to me last year that arc would go nowhere. Like the woman pointing, it would all just go nowhere. It honestly never occurred to me. So is this one going to work? All right. Are they building this up better than they were before? Than they were last year? It's hard to tell. It all depends if they stick the landing or not. I mean, it really is. You die at midnight. That I thought was kind of stupid. Right? That you get 180 degrees behind her and you get killed. I thought that was a bit... Although you could say the monster's just playing with her. These have only been up so far, haven't they? Down. Red code. Anyone who's seen him play Roddy Ho in Slow Horses will know that Christopher Chung excels at playing arrogant arseholes who mask deep insecurities. Cassie is one of... that was a down. I agree with you. Up. Mercury falling. I mean, that's the way they for some reason, this creature can't be seen. It doesn't like mirrors or being reflected. So I thought that's kind of a good idea. That was actually a pretty good idea. What's going on? Are you going to go out again? Oh, you should really just stay in and have a quiet night in. No. She's a cat. She's going out. Down. Share goes down the well. I thought that was an up, right? Honestly, I thought that was a good point of it. Again, ripped off from Alien 3 or a homage to it. Is it a homage or is it a rip-off? Why do you want to go? You look. Oh my God, you got so much smutch on your face. You're not going to let me try and clean you, are you? Just go crazy. Anyway, I thought that was good. What annoyed me, though, is the very current day staffing of their Marines, where, again, everyone... there's no positive white male character, right? There's no positive white male character in it. Why? I don't know. Peter, the Peter Venkman site says... Peter Venkman fan site says... Rusty Davis is out of touch in so many ways. Sadly, yes. That really is the problem, right? That really is a problem. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. And ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.